Other interesting cultural news, you have Disney to purchase the remaining Hulu stake from Comcast. Now, currently Comcast holds a 33% stake in the company, and it looks like the sale is going to be for at least $8.61 billion. Granted, the price tag could rise, as both companies will now negotiate to determine Hulu's full value. A 2019 deal between the firms set the value of Hulu at $27.5 billion, but Comcast CEO has already indicated that Hulu is, quote, way more valuable today, unquote. Which, I mean, I don't know about that. How many hits does Hulu have these days? Last time I checked, the only thing one of my cousins used to rave about that show. What was it? The Weird Aliens. I believe they have the exclusive distribution rights for Solar Opposites, and then maybe Archer. I think they had a contract for them at one point. But when was the last time you actually know someone who pays for Hulu? When Hulu was just coming to the market, when I was younger, I always thought it was a ripoff because it was a streaming service you had to pay for, but you still had ads. Now, I know now they have other options, so you can actually pay a lot of money to get no ads at all. But in terms of my anecdotal experience and anecdotal evidence with the folks I talked to, only a couple of people, really only a handful of people ever had Hulu. I mean, the big elephant in the room is Netflix. They have a huge market dominance and market share. Now, the other question would be, where is Disney going to get this money? Because Disney's bleeding money in nearly every category except for theme parks. Theme parks are making them a profit, but their streaming service is still not profitable. This, if they require it, might help because they'll get some of those exclusive distribution rights for some of those intellectual properties. But they're going to have to raise this money or take out a loan or use some cash reserves. It's going to come from somewhere. And Hulu's, they're saying there's valued at $27.5 billion. And I know public schools are all-time low for math, science, history, so we'll do a little math here today. So the 2019 value based at $27.5 billion. So if you multiply that by 33%, yeah, that does come around to around $9.1 billion. So a little bit more than what they were earlier saying they were going to acquire it for. So it'll be interesting to see. That's the dollar value amount. Then you have to argue what's the brand worth compared to the revenues. Which is pretty easy to have the statistical numbers of they made X amount of revenue, X amount of dollars, X amount of profit. There's this valuation for what it's worth, but also what is the power of the brand in? I can't but wonder, is Disney just going to absorb the whole Hulu into Disney Plus, or will they continue to have a separate app or a separate instance? It'd be fascinating to see. I can't help but think the market would probably maybe prefer a little market consolidation, because people have so many streaming services from pretty much every legacy media company. They all have their own subscription services. So I think, let me know in the comments if you believe differently, but I think some folks would probably just like it just to have one Disney Plus account, and it would have all the other subsequent little intellectual property. But it'll be interesting to see. Of course, negotiation might take a long time, but it looks like officially they're going to actually purchase the product. Let me know in the comments. Hopefully it improves quality, though I, of course, am, as usual, skeptical. Thank you, everyone, for taking time to tune in to the show again today. I cannot appreciate it enough. If you click that subscribe button, that'll help the channel grow and develop and be able to make the show better and better. Also, the comments are a great way to help me get the show in terms of increasing with new ideas and new qualities. I had to almost do an eye roll. I was trying to remember that certain word. But nevertheless, the feedback is always greatly appreciated. I do apologize, and sometimes it might take a couple days for me to get back to the comments, depending on the workloads that I'm working with. But I always do appreciate the critique, even if it's negative, because I think that is how you grow the most. Also, and lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.